What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino here with y'all on this Sunday afternoon. And I don't know how long or short this one gonna be, but we're just gonna base it on the direction that it goes and how it flows, man. Of course, this title is inspired by last night's loss of our brother, legendary Screwed Up Click member Big Pokey, and we're inspired. This is inspired by his loss. First thing I want to say, I made a video earlier, but I also want to just say this live to just send condolences to his family, send condolences to his children, however many children he may have. I know he has a daughter, but I don't know if that's his only child. Whoever his immediate family is, because this is a situation that not like he was sick and they saw it coming. This is totally unexpected. Totally unexpected. So the tragedy is more impactful like when it happens like that. But not to stay on that a long time, but to more so focus on the greatness of the man. The greatness of the man, and celebrate the greatness of the man, because he's one of the few individuals, and when I say few, I know that we can name thousands and thousands of people who lived this life and they passed on, and we know them and we know their legacy, we know their work. But even in the totality of time and life, that's still a small amount of people who live and they make an impact where they were known for certain works that they did. Everybody's not famous. Everybody's not well known and popular all over the world on parts of the world, is the point that I'm trying to make. But in the case of a brother like Big Pokey, he's one of the rare individuals that walked the planet in any time in history that did build a name for himself to where he's known in all different parts of the world. So what comes with that, especially in this day and age, what comes with that is there's a lot of artistic, creative work that he left behind that we who are still blessed to be here on this plane have access to. So him being an artist, a musician in the music business, we got a lot of music to where we can hear his voice when we want to hear it. We got a lot of footage where we can see his face and see him alive anytime we want to see it. And that in itself is one of the blessings of life that we have when somebody transitions from this life. Because the passing of an individual puts a period on their physical life, but the work that they do during their physical life grants them immortality beyond the physical life, because he's a name that's going to get mentioned every day, forever, by somebody. His is a voice that's going to be heard every day, by somebody, because they're going to still play his music. We're going to still watch his videos. We're going to still see footage of him. So in that regard, we're going to celebrate the greatness of our brother. But I'll say this also, in line with the topic of this live stream, those of us who are still here, we have to make decisions in our life in certain moments where we have to ask questions to ourselves about what's important in a moment of tragedy and in a moment of someone else's crisis. It came to my attention that, you know, our brother was performing on stage when he collapsed or whatever. And of course, we understand at every show, people are filming and got their phones up and whatever the case is. So naturally, in that moment, in a real-time moment, people will have footage of it just because they didn't see that coming, but they were filming anyway. But the problem comes when people try to capitalize on the tragedy by posting the tragedy, posting the footage of it on social media platforms and getting into this race to be the one to put the footage up because they want the likes. And that's all I'm gonna say about the specifics of this situation, out of respect. I'll transition over into that topic on a whole because we got to have more class than that, y'all. We got to have more class. A time has to come and situations have to come where we have to say, hey man, it ain't about no views right now. It's not about no likes right now. It's not even about money right now, because some people would even want to, hey man, I can sell this, I can do this. And we never stop to think about, well, what if that was my family member? Would I want people putting that out and spreading that out for the world to see? And the unfortunate thing is, in this day and age, you can't stop it, because even if 100 people were to film something tragic that happens, if 100 people film, if 1,000 people were in attendance and they filmed it, and 999 out of the 1,000 said, nah, man, I'm not putting that out. I'm not posting that footage. The problem is that all it takes is one. The one said, well, I'm going to post it. And from that one, other people in different parts of the world, they're going to snatch that up. And then it ends up being spread out on thousands and thousands of platforms anyway. We got to always think about what they call the golden rule. And we've heard that since we was little, where they say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Treat people the way you would want to be treated. But to extend it a little further, treat people's family and loved ones the way you would want them to treat your family and loved ones in a tough situation. We become so disconnected from basic general humanity, because we live in such a fast-paced world where everybody is trying to level up in terms of clout. So we've become disconnected from simple humanity, just a simple act of respect, a simple act of class and etiquette gets ignored because we in the rat race. We got to have class, man. Because whatever you think that it benefits you to get in the rat race and not have class in that moment, whatever that benefit is, whatever you think that benefit is by doing it in that way, you don't understand that that's an illusion. That benefit is an illusion, because that which is gained through disrespectful means, the lifespan of it is not going to be long anyway. The lifespan is not going to be long anyway. It's going to be a little moment. And in that moment, what do you get out of that moment besides some views, some likes, and the distinction, which is not something to be proud of, but the distinction of being able to say, well, I was the first one to post it. I was the one. See, in media, you have journalists and columnists and reporters and analysts, and the way people rise up in the ranks, they rise up in the ranks by being able to say that when a big story pops off, they want to say, I was the one who broke that story, right? The stations themselves will say, you heard it here first, you saw it here first, because they want to establish themselves as a source that the people can look to, that the audience can look to as, hey, they're going to have all of the dirt. Or even if they don't view it as dirt, we're going to get the news. When the news breaks, we're going to be on the scene first. But in the social media age, you got vlogs and platforms and YouTube channels and Instagram pages and all these different things where the news that they're going after to break first is predominantly dirt, mess, or posting somebody's misfortune. And we take pride in saying that we was the first ones. That's my footage right there. So we disconnected from humanity, disconnected from respect to say, I ain't touching that, man. There are certain things that we got to say, I ain't touching that. No. Too soon, too soon. Nah, it's never going to be a time where it's time for certain things to be done. But when you don't have no class, when you don't have no respect, no etiquette, that thought doesn't even cross your mind, because you're trying to elevate, or what you believe to be elevate. It's not elevation. You're really going down. You're really delusional in your thought process, because you're not gonna get blessed by being a predator like that, by preying on people's misfortune in order to break in order to break a story. Some people don't have no class, none whatsoever. And a lot of times, people who, again, may even receive monetary compensation for having some footage, or and I'm not, look, it's certain things you get if you was filming on a sunny day and you saw um, chemical plant fire break out and your footage on, they want to see how okay, that's different than, okay, yeah, I can give y'all this footage, hey, y'all want to pay me for it. But when it comes down to personalized situations and tragic situations, man, all money ain't good money, man. All attention is not good attention. Because what if you put something out there for your own benefit, your own boosting up, and you don't take into consideration a person's family, and that person's family comes across footage of what happened to their family member? What if somebody filmed your family member getting shot in the head? Somebody walked up and shot somebody in your family in the head, and somebody just happened to have been filming, they got it right on film. And your 10-year-old son comes across that footage. Your mother comes across that footage. That's traumatizing. It's traumatizing enough just to know what happened, just to get the phone call and find out, hey, daddy's gone, sister's gone, this mama's gone, and you find out what happened. That's bad enough because you vision it in your head, even though you were not there to see it. But to see it, that's a whole other level. So we got to know when to say, nah, man, because we don't think about that person's family, man. It's classless. But the second it happens to you, the second that it happens to you, you ready to fight and kill everybody. So injustice can't be conditional. You can't take the attitude that I can do whatever I want to do to other people if it benefits me, but nobody better not do it to me. What kind of mentality do you have to think that you that special, that you are that set apart from everybody else, where you don't have to give anybody the same respect that you would want them to give you? Classless, man. Classless. I'm gonna go to y'all a little bit earlier than usual. Let's see what y'all saying. Erica says, I once heard someone getting stabbed outside my window. It took me months before I thought about him being a son, brother, husband. I was scared for my kids, but I heard a whole life lead. Yeah. And you saying you heard it. Just imagine if you saw it. Just imagine if somebody was filming it and didn't try to assist or help. And this is just one situation, but it covers the whole totality of life. We got to have more class in the way we move and everything, not just situations like this. Because I don't even want to dwell on this, but I wanted to speak out on that because that's the first thing that, that's some TMZ type stuff, man. That's TMZ. I don't even want to. I can't say everything that's in my mind. Everything got to be recorded. You never know what's going to happen. And it was in public, so y'all tripping. See, that's the kind of mentality that I'm talking about, where we have people that just take on the attitude like everything is fair game. All is fair because it's in public or because it's a public figure. You don't get the right to be disrespectful to somebody because they're famous, because they're rich, because they're a public figure, and because we live in an age where everything is recorded. We do live in an age where everything is recorded. That's what I spoke on. But that still should not ever supersede civility. Just having some civility about yourself, some humanity about yourself, so it makes it okay to spread that video. Nah, that don't make it okay. That's disrespect of the highest order, and to justify it makes it worse because this the time we living in. Okay, well, my point earlier was if that was your mama, would it be okay then? We tripping if it's your mama? And we get to watch her collapse and go, ooh, whoa, ooh, 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 look how she hit her head. Is it cool then? Is everybody tripping then? See, that's the very point that I'm making in this video. Everything ain't fair game. Everything ain't open like that, man. We got to get out of that BS media minded, like everything is just, hey man, it's a fast paced world and you got to get it. You got to be the one to get it, the first one. Nah, that's a human. That's a life, bro. That's somebody's son, mother, daughter, uncle, aunt, cousin, wife, husband that knows them beyond whatever name we have as rappers and personalities and social media people. They know them by their real name. Nah, that ain't MC Hot Boy. That's Jonathan Jones. Somebody knew him when he was a baby. Somebody knew him personally. Somebody saw any of the personal struggles they went through. Somebody knew them intimately. Somebody did not care about the fame and the money. Somebody loved them just for who they was. So now we don't get to justify people being classless because we live in a social media age where everybody records. See, that kind of mentality catches up to you. That kind of mentality catches up to you. You get boomeranged when you think like that. Promise you. You learn to understand how wrong that thought process is because it comes to you. It visits you. Remember that. no morals. And if there's a situation where you say celebrities can't have it both ways, can't have what both ways? What is it that celebrities can't have both ways? What are the two ways that you're talking about? See, you seem like one of those people who, again, like I said, feel like because a person is a celebrity or because they're rich and famous, society has the right to do them any kind of way. No, they people too. You might not agree with their political philosophies, their religious ideologies. You might not like their music. You might not like their movies. You might not like them as athletes, but they still are human. They still are people who deserve to be respected if they're not disrespecting anybody. And God forbid if a tragedy befalls them. You lose a child. Oh, so he's a celebrity, so I get to put this camera right in his face and ask him about the loss of his child right in that moment. You'll learn. You'll learn. What are the ways they can't have it both ways? No. Yeah. So, and you're generalizing. 1 minute you want the camera, and when it don't convene you, no. You generalizing. See, you looking at a tragic situation, sir, or ma'am. I don't know. Yes, sir. You're looking at a tragic situation. That's what you mean. Want the camera and want it both ways. This man, or and others like him, something unexpected, something unforeseen, unwitting that just happened. So now it's like, oh well, this is what I signed up for. So spread my tragedy all around the world because I'm a celebrity. I deserve this because I'm a celebrity, because I worked hard to get myself up to a point where I chased my dream, accomplished my dream, and what comes with that is fame, a little money, whatever comes along with that, but that's what I wanted to go after. No, nobody deserves to be disrespected. Ain't no both ways. They want to count. Who are you talking about? You can't generalize and say that. You know, you speaking as if somebody built up into a level of celebrity and then they decided to go out and go on a cocaine binge. I'm publicly out in the streets snorting cocaine, and then I say, hey man, don't film me while I snort this cocaine. It's like, well, no, man, you out in public and you wilding right now. That's not the same thing as somebody suffering a tragedy, man. That's a very, very, very dangerous way to think. But like I say, usually when people think like that, they have their wake-up moment in their life. Ain't got nothing to do with being a celebrity. That's where you're messing up at. It has to do with just being a person. Class. Has to do with being a person. Because one thing about a celebrity, I've known a lot of them. Known a lot of I know a lot of big name people, and I know a lot of people with money, millionaire, millions of dollars. And the one thing that I know about all of the people that I know that have fame and money, the one thing I know is that in close quarters, in regular situations, They just regular people, just like you and me. They live, they have families, they have problems, they have health issues. Being a celebrity does not exempt you from getting sick. They make money, they go broke, they have fights. Just because you're a celebrity don't mean you can whoop everybody, get beat up. They have divorces, they get married, break up, bad relationships, argue, fight, they get confused, the things they don't understand. They're not superheroes because they're celebrities. They have the same types of human problems. They have mental health issues, all of these things that regular people have. The only difference is we know them and they may have a little money because of the field that they are in dictates exposure. But that don't give you no license to be disrespectful. Yeah. And the video, whoever got the video, you filming the performance. We all been in the shows where people pull their camera out, pull their phone out, and they filming the performance. They filming the performer. If something happens to that person while they're on stage, see, this ain't like somebody performing on stage and then try to do a dance move and they slip and they fall. In an embarrassing moment, they get back up and okay, yeah, you laughing, and they post that online. This can't be equated to that. Person lose their life, hey man, all bets is off. Because here's the thing, it don't just apply to celebrities. It could apply to you. Something happened to you, and you gone. I feel like your people would have a problem if what happened to you happened in a way where it went viral, and somebody put the footage out and it went viral like that. I think your people would have a problem with it. I'll be surprised if they didn't. I don't even know your people. I don't even know you. But I'll say this, and I'll move on. If that's your mentality, then you live in that. But when it visits you, you live in that too. Celebrity or not. But this goes beyond our brother. This goes to every aspect of life, man. But it's a big example for us to look at. And it's a moment to reflect. Because you just don't know, man. I'm reading what y'all talking about. Seen that comment. I was reading something, but I'm trying to read things that I feel are relevant to this conversation. The problem is you can't stop people from doing certain things. You know, just like I said, 1,000 people can have the footage and 999 say they're not going to do that, and all it takes is one. That's the problem. And the one will spur off 1,000 more who don't care about that type of thing. Let me see what's going on with sleep is the cousin of death. I didn't see that dollar bill. Let me go back up and find, because we're not tolerating no disrespect. We can disagree. We can disagree. We can have a disagreement, but we can't have disrespect. That's the difference. We can disagree, but we will not have disrespect. So let me try to find, I can't find the comment. I can't find the comment. But the reality is, man, is that there are a lot of people who are just numb to, who are, I won't even use the word desensitized. Desensitized just represents like, man, I've just seen so much stuff in my life that I've become desensitized. It's like it doesn't even hit me like it normally would. But it's a difference between that and just having no feeling at all off the rip. You don't have any feeling at all off the rip. And you feel like it's okay because, maybe it's envy. See, because I know people who look at celebrities, when something bad happens to a celebrity, they'll say, yeah, that's what he get. See, yeah, you ain't so big and you ain't know this person. You just envious of their success, so you feel like something bad needs to happen to them. Good. I'm still looking for that comment. Okay, yeah, no, you gotta go, buddy. You gotta go. I saw it. You have to go. No way. No way. You out of here, buddy. You are out of here. Hold on. Let me see something. Yeah. I'm trying my best to remove this on 99 levels. I hope I did. See, I mean, that's disrespectful, man. That's too disrespectful, man. Y'all walk through life like nothing can happen to you or your family. That's dangerous, man. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. We should be found building up as much positive, to use the word credit. We should be found building up as large of a positive credit line with the Creator as possible and with people as possible. But for some reason, many of us carry ourselves in a way where we don't have any problem building up negative strikes against ourselves with no regard for the feelings of other people and their family members. If you are a bitter, uncaring, no compassion having, hopeless individual, envious individual, if you are that, hey man, take the time to work that out on your own. Don't impose it on other people. Don't impose that on other people. Be the type of person, because you have moments where all of us are old enough to have had someone that we've gotten into it with in our lifetime, that we had a problem. We had a beef with this person or that person. You had a fight with that person. You openly express that you don't like that person and that person doesn't like you, right? And then something happens to that person and that person passes away. It's very counterproductive and disrespectful, in my opinion, to continue to have negative things to say about that person after they're gone. It's over at that point. And sometimes when you have problems with certain people, you may not like them, but not liking someone doesn't necessarily mean that you hate them. Not liking somebody does not necessarily mean that you wish bad on them. You could just not like a person. Hey man, I'll stay away from them. I don't like them, but I'm not gonna wish nothing evil on them, on their family. So if something does happen, they lose their life, or to pass away, I'm done. You didn't like him. I mean, nah, we had our problems. I didn't like him, but I have no evil words to say about him. But I'm just being honest. I didn't like him when we had our little thing, but I send condolences to his family. I give him respect in his transition. Because guess what? Could have been you. But when there's something else in you that's so messed up in your own heart, when your own heart is so messed up, you can't even let it go after the person died. That's on you. That's on you. Well, you can't even say, man, God bless him. Leave that alone. That's your problem. And they gone. So now you are living with this thing inside of you that's festering and toxifying inside of your mind and your spirit. And others who try to capitalize off of somebody else's downfall. You see it as a way to get money. You see it as a way to get views. You don't have no class, man. You don't have something respectful to say even after a person passes away. You need to have a talk with yourself. Plain and simple. Roderick says lack of empathy is a major problem in today's society. Yeah. But you know what I never understood, though, Roderick? And I just keep harping on that. I never understood how people who have that kind of mindset, they don't even consider that it could happen to them. They talk about people like no misfortune could ever happen to them. Not realizing that that kind of talk brings that on them. It brings it on you. It brings it to you because you got to be shown, you got to see how ridiculous you sound. Yep, Erica, the golden rule. But on another note, on a lighter note, Jordan King just dropped a jewel on us. Said, never miss a chance to tell someone you love them. Never know, it might be your last time talking with them. And that's the fact. So I can look at a situation and go, man, because that's what the first thing you think about. You know, you lose somebody, you always think about the last time you saw them. That's crazy. And it doesn't matter how far back it was. For some reason, that recall comes into your mind. You think about the last time you saw him. Man, I hadn't seen that boy since that probably was 2015, man. We was at the thing. It comes right back to you. Or in more difficult cases, it hits a little harder if you be like, oh man, I was just with him last night. I was just with him last week. So yeah, the taking people for granted part of life is something that we don't always do on purpose. You know, we interact with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. We just don't realize how many people that we know and interact with. So you look at a site like Facebook or something like that, you may have, I don't even care if you got 200 Facebook friends, right? In the Facebook world, that's not a lot of friends, because I think you can get up to like 5,000, right? But in reality, if you have 200 social media friends in your network, that's 200 people that know who you are, right? And by virtue that you may let some of them in, you accept the request, you may know the majority or all of them. So we interact with a lot of people. So it's easy to kind of brush people off at times when you don't really mean no harm in it. It's like, oh yeah, I'll catch him later. Okay, I'll reply to that message later on. Oh, I see such and such called. I'll call him back later. I'll call her back later. And how many of us have done that and never got a chance to call that person back? So while you don't mean any harm by it, because everybody is living life. Life is moving. So you might have been working. You might have been taking care of children at the time. You might have been on the road driving. Oh, I can't talk to you right now. You know, it's nothing disrespectful meant in it. It's just the reality. So you got to do your best to reach back out to people when you can. Ebony Locke says, do you think if a family member has always mistreated you, what do you do? You remove yourself from that family member. Just because, I said in the song, just because we related, that don't mean we relate. And all blood ain't family. That's your relative. Y'all are related by blood and DNA and all that. But family is an interactive, it's an action word, like love. I can say I love somebody, but saying I love somebody and showing them that I love them is a different thing. I'd rather somebody show me they love me than say it all the time. Because a lot of people say things that are not what they really represent. I could say I'm a fireman. I don't mean I am. So if I say it 20 times a day, then when the house catch on fire, I don't know what to do. So if a family member is not being family, remove yourself. We're not obligated to stay connected to a person just because he's my blood cousin, he's my brother, she's my sister. If they're not doing right by you, he's my daddy, my mama. He's my son, my daughter. They're not doing right by you. Exit stage left. But that's my family, man. I mean, we grew up together. Y'all not the same no more. Yeah, y'all grew up together. Y'all didn't grow up together. That's the difference. That's exactly what the problem is. No, you didn't grow up together. You grew up in the same household. Y'all grew up around each other, had sleepovers and birthday parties and all that, went to school and all that. But you can grow up in the same environment, but grow out in different ways from each other. Because what the growth represents what goes on in your mind and how your mind operates and thinks and views the world and views yourself and views what you want for yourself. And if that person ain't on that, that's fine, because they may be on a path of their own that's going to get them to the same success that you get to, but they ain't got to be on what you own. But you can't let them interfere with what you own. They causing problems in what you own and what you are on. So you move away. We talk about having class. That's part of it. I got to be classy in defeat. You ever seen somebody playing a sport, and then when the person loses, they don't want to shake the other guy's hand? And the first thing is, oh man, that just he showed no class. That was just classless. He lost, so he didn't want to shake his hand. But if he would have won, he would have had a problem shaking the guy's hand. Then on the flip side, you see a guy who does lose. He mad, he hurt, he disappointed, he dejected, but he still walks over and say, man, good game, man. Good game. You can see in his face, he hurt. But his character still allowed him and made him say, I'm not going to be like that just because I lost. Because I have to be able to find fault in myself over me losing. What you mad at him for? He beat you. He was better than you. Why are you mad at him? So I can go shake your hand because you was the better man that day. Now I got to go back to the lab. So when I catch you again, you'll have to come shake my hand with the sad look on your face. Have some class, man. It builds your character up, because it's not always easy to do. But you have to take those tough moments and do the right thing in those tough moments. It builds your character up, makes you a better person. Some people might not believe that, but it makes you a better person. Erica says you got to love them from a distance, right? If you're going to love them at all, as the song says. Because people will hurt you, like people that you really care about and love, because sometimes you can care about a person and love that person and ride for that person, and then you realize they don't feel the same way about you, and y'all been around each other for years and all y'all life, and you find out, man, person ain't even for me. That might not erase all the love. You might still love them, but you got to be wise enough to remove yourself from them, because now if you discover this person was never for you and you continue to be around them, now you put yourself in a position to set yourself up for a fall. So yeah, if I still love, yeah, you stole that $500 out my wallet, broke my heart, man, because I thought we was better than that. I ain't lose my love for you, but you'll never be in a position to take 500 more. And if you are in position to take 500 more, then guess what that falls under? That falls under the fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Shannon Box, boundaries is the key to teaching people how you expect to be treated. Yeah, you dictate that. You lay out the template. You hand the mission statement to people to tell people what you about. You don't let people decide how they're going to treat you, because if a person does not have that kind of character, they're going to go in. They're going to be opportunists. They're going to find ways to see how they can get over on you. But when you lay it out in the beginning, we see it all the time. We all went to public school. Well, I ain't gonna say all of us. Some of y'all might have went to private school. Some of y'all might have got tutored and homeschooled, which in reality, that's the best thing going these days, to be homeschooled, get your children out to public schools. But we all went to public school and we saw what was what. I can remember our classrooms, it might be 25, 30 students in every class back when I was in school. And you saw the people who was bullies, and they would test their little bully, they would play their little bully card on certain people, and certain people they worked on instantly because they were just scary. And but then they would go down the line, they would get to that one, like, I ain't the dude or the female, I'm not the one. And the bully knows, like, I better not try that with him. And if they still tried, they find out why they shouldn't have tried. But low self-esteem is usually the catalyst behind people allowing people to treat them any kind of way. If you don't have self-esteem about yourself and you feel inferior, or you have insecurities about yourself, you feel like you're not worthy to be treated respectfully, then that's when the doors open and allows people who sense that and prey on that to come in and mistreat you. So yeah, you're right, Shannon Box. That's how you do it. We got to raise, and that's all of us. I ain't on here talking about saying stuff that I'm just throwing at y'all. I can see my own face on the screen just like y'all can see me. I'm talking about me too. We got to raise our own moral levels up and our own character up to where we can demonstrate better behavior in certain situations, and to think before we move and act, and think before we say something out of our mouth that may be something we can't get back, something too disrespectful, so out of pocket that we can't get back, and demonstrate a lack of class and respect in the wrong moment. It's never a right moment to be classless, but certain levels of classlessness have bigger impacts and effect than others. If I don't shake your hand after the game because I lost, okay, you look like a sore loser or whatever. But if I do something on a big scale that disrespects you or your family in a serious moment, that's different. That's different. Roderick says, sounds like America. America is the most classless nation to ever exist. Miami, Florida, what's up, my brother? These days, God is testing hearts. Yeah, man, like without a, oh man. See, we always make the mistake of thinking that a person's misfortunes in life are 100% about that person. Instead of asking ourselves the question, when we see somebody's misfortune in life, you may ask, man, I wonder why that happened to them. Man, what's going on in that person's life? Did that person do something to deserve that? Or are they just going through a trial? We may ask those questions, but the one question that we don't always ask, or we fail to ask, we don't ask, well, why was I allowed to see that person going through what they was going through? Why did I see that? Why am I this close to? Why did that come across my eyes? What is the message that's being sent to me by watching somebody else's misfortunes? We don't ask that question all the time. What is my reaction in my response to it? Did I laugh at it? Did I say that's what they get? Did I come off in a self-righteous type of way? And because I'm in a good place and I see them, see, that's the problem. See, they didn't know how to, see, they didn't know what they was doing. See, so that's why he invested in that. He was wrong and he blew all his money. See, I wouldn't have done that. Instead of passing that kind of judgment on people, you get in this lofty mindset like, see, that would never happen to me. Because are you failing your test when you see somebody else going through something? Y'all live in the same neighborhood and something, one of their children get arrested. Oh man, such on the corner, man, his son was, they caught him breaking in people's houses, man. They gave him 15 years. But see, that's why my children, see, I raised my children in a way that they understand. They know better than a few months later, a year or two later, your child done did something. May not have been that exact thing, but they may have done something worse. You better be careful how you react to other people's mistakes and other people's misfortunes. Having no class is the person that would do that. We sitting in the circle. Yeah, see, that was no, hey man, that's not appropriate to speak on that, man. I knew her husband. See, her husband be coming out that other lady's house, and that's not appropriate for you to speak on, ma'am. Certain situations, even though you know, because again, we don't ask ourselves why we became privy and exposed to certain information. So if I find out that Mr. Johnny was messing around on his wife, I just happened to be outside cutting my grass. I saw Mr. Johnny's wife leave to go to work. Then an hour later, the mistress pulls in, they go in. I saw it, right? Not my place to go tell the other neighbor that I saw it. My place is shut the hell up. Unless Mr. Johnny is my cousin, my best friend, my brother, then I gotta let, or well, Mr. Johnny's wife is my cousin, I gotta let my people know. I can't do that. But if I don't know them people like that, I'm being tested. Am I gonna go spread them people's business? Oh man, Virgil Falls, man, that's my boy, man. Virgil Fails, I'm sorry. It's my boy. I gotta at least know his name, huh? Virgil Fails, that's my boy, man. But y'all know his family, they lights been cut off. They ain't had no lights in 3 weeks. Nobody knew that but you. So why'd you have to go tell everybody that man business like that? I know your lights ain't off, Virgil. God bless you. But why'd you have to feel like you had to tell everybody else that? You failed a test. Because God hate gossip. Say that again. God hates gossip. He don't like us. Man, you see? You heard about Lily? No, you don't do that. You failed a test. Because you were shown that about this person to see how you would react to it. Knowing good and well, if your business got told like that, same thing what we was talking about earlier. We really have it bad about doing things to people that we know would piss us off if they did it to us. No class. One of my favorite cartoons growing up was Fat Albert. Some of y'all old enough to remember Fat Albert. Some of y'all might not remember Fat Albert. That was one of my favorite cartoons growing up. And they used to rank on each other. And one of my favorite ranks they used to hit him with, he'll say, man, you remind me of school in the summertime. And the dude would say, school in the summertime, what's that? No class. Some people remind me of school in the summertime, bro. No class. Ooh, Roger teaching. People tend to forget that principle. What goes around comes around. Too many messy people think it's totally normal. Those who think that that's normal or okay, they're not normal or okay. Just is what it is. Dumb Donald. See, when somebody self-imposes a problem, when you do something to yourself, if I decide tomorrow to start doing crystal meth, if I start smoking meth tomorrow, and I start to suffer the debilitating effects of smoking meth, that's on me. I did that to myself. Now, it still doesn't give a right. Well, let me flip it around and put myself in the position of the judgmental, disrespectful person. If I see somebody that starts smoking crystal meth and they start to suffer the effects of it, and I know it, it's still not my place to talk crazy about them, to talk their business. And if I know them, it should be my place to try to help them the best I can. It's not my place to talk disrespectful when you going through your problem, even if you put it on your, well, so, oh man, he did that to himself. Yeah, that's true. But if you know they did it to themselves, it's still not your place to just tell everybody and anybody that'll listen, oh man, you heard about That fool smoking. That fool smoking meth. That fool. Ah, be careful with that. Why did you see it? Why did you see it? You saw it partly because you were being tested. It was an opportunity to see how you would handle it. See how you would handle it. And how will you handle it? Self-righteously, off a hand, or you gonna go tell everybody because you want to be the first one? Have some class, man. Let me. I'm reading y'all's comments. Catherine says everything is a test and the test never stops. God hate gossip, bro. Because it's something about us as people, and I don't understand what that is in us, that we get way more excited to talk about when bad things happen to people than we do when good things happen to them. You know why? Because a lot of times when something good happens for somebody, envy creeps up in our system. Jealousy creeps up, and you are really upset that they got that blessing and you didn't. So you don't have the same passion and enthusiasm about spreading somebody's blessing around. Man, you heard Beautiful Jazz hit the lottery, man. She won $18 million. Somebody gonna say, wow. No, for real, 18 million. She hit, man, she hit for 18 million. Somebody gonna go, yeah, I heard about it. Like, you heard about it? No, she hit, no, you ain't understand what I said. She won 18 million. I heard about it. I heard, man. I mean, I heard about it. Like, why you mad? What's wrong? But if I come tell you, hey man, Billy Bob smoking, man, they finna lose their house. For real? Man, I knew. Well, I knew it, man, cause I seen them coming out that crack house, and you get real excited to talk about you to talk like that. Why? Y'all ain't get excited when Jazz hit for that 18 million though. Hey. Drought, I appreciate the love, man. The hardest pit in the litter, man. But like I said, after the initial shock, surprise, hurt, pain, sadness, it's a blessing when the person leaves a legacy. The sad part when you lose somebody is when that person transitions and they have not maxed themselves out or got a lot out of life to where they leave a lot behind for the people that they left behind. That's when it's sad. But when you know that somebody has immortalized themselves, go watch the video I posted about our brother. When you know that somebody that they gave it, you hate they gone. We love Michael Jackson. It was sad when Mike passed away. It was sad when Prince passed away. It was sad when we lost Kobe. But the body of work that they left, they live forever. They're still here. I can go watch Kobe whenever I want to. I can go watch him play. I can go watch him talk. I can go watch an interview. I can listen to Mike whenever I want to. We can go listen to Pokey whenever we want to now, just as we could then. Yeah. You ever open a door? All my gentlemen out here, right? You ever open the door for a lady and she didn't say thank you? And I'm not talking about a lady that you was trying to holler at. I ain't talking about that. I'm just talking about general respect. As a man should hold the door open for a lady, right? That's how it should be. But in your mind, you do an act like that, and then you expect, talking about total stranger, you just expect, you just something you from childhood. If I'm walking down the street and I'm carrying a box and I drop a box and somebody runs up behind me and say, hey man, you dropped your box. You go, the natural thing I'm gonna say, hey man, thank you, man, I appreciate that. So you walk into a store at the same time, lady comes in, you hold the door open. Not that you are doing it for the thanks, but it's just something natural in you that you expect to at least hear, thank you. But you don't hear that, right? She just walks in the door. Might have attitude, might look at you crazy and still walk in the door, right? How do you respond to that though? Do you start cussing the lady out? Oh, you ain't gonna say thank you? Do you do that? Or do you just go on about your business and get what you was coming to get out the store and then leave? That's what you do. You have class. You don't flip out, because there are a lot of factors that could be in place as to why she didn't say thank you. She could be just rude. Could be. That could just be how she is. But she could have something on her mind that she's dealing with in that moment. Something in her head that she not even, She could be on guard because everywhere she goes, guys are trying to holler at her and harass her all day long, and it just gets to be too much. So when you open that door, she's like, oh, here's another one. What he about to do? So they more guarded. We don't know the underlying mindset. Now, should she still say thank you? Yeah. But just sometimes it's like, gotta be. It's like when you go to a store. One time, true story, I ended up making a song about this. I got a song called Corner Store Convo. One time I was just making my rounds, making my runs, and it seemed like everywhere I go, there was a dude bumming money, asking for money. Everywhere I went. Hey, bro, you got some change? Like, there you go, man. You go to another store, way somewhere else. Hey, bro, you can spare $1, bro, you got it? Hey. Then you do that 2 or 3 times in different locations. The thought creeps up in your mind like, I'm getting tired of these people asking me for money. Getting tired of these able-bodied grown men asking me for some change. But how do you handle that? Do you flip out and click on the dude and threaten to whoop him if he asks you for? But like the lady who may not have said thank you when you open the door for her, you can get guarded because people been hitting you with that all day long. So now you walk in the store, you see him. You try not to even make eye contact. You go, and he might say, "Hey, excuse me, bro, excuse me." You walk right in the store. We've all done it. It's not that you trying to be disrespectful and rude. It's you in a different place. Or you might be in a serious rush that day. And you don't have time. So it comes off to him like you being rude or you being. So everything is not always what it appears to be on the surface to the naked eye. There's always an underlying situation. Or, yeah, the person could just be rude. We won't dismiss that one either. But your class and civility should never be compromised. Meaning that no matter what's going on, you should never allow yourself to be reduced to the level of classlessness that somebody else imposes on you. You got to know how to remain in your own composure and in your own character, regardless of what other people are doing. On that level. Now, to the extent, now, if you're talking, if somebody is in your space getting physical with you, then that's not the time to be, I'm trying to show class. I'm being, no, that's you show class. You take the CL off of class, and that's what you get on. You get on a but in things that are verbal, things that are body language oriented, things that are gossip oriented, mess oriented, you simply remove yourself from the situation and you don't ever lose your composure. Now, am I talking like I never lost my composure? No. I told y'all everything I'm saying to y'all, I'm saying to me. We all have moments that we're not proud of where we let our emotion get the best of us and we got out of character, and then you look back, you're like, oh man, I handled that totally wrong. I handled that totally wrong. And for me, it bothers me. I think of stuff that to this day happened a long time ago, years ago. I'd be like, man, be embarrassed. You'd be like, feel bad. You know that you let the other person defeat you in terms of getting you out of character. You have to practice. Practice that. Practice your civility. Practice your class. Practice it. Work on it. Understand it's going to be moments where people are going to try you. But as long as they don't try you physically, don't let it bother you. Do the best you can to not let it bother you. See what y'all got to say. People will be remembered by the pain they caused or the kindness they've shown. That's a great point. People remember you for how you treated them. But that's why a lot of people will still hold grudges after somebody passed away long, or even if they don't pass away. Y'all broke up in 1972, and you still frown up if somebody mention that person's name because of the way that person treated you. They done changed, gave their life to God. They ain't like that no more. You still like, See? Is that Mark KCC? Mark CC? We just got over Gangsta Boo passing and now Big Pokey sad. I mean, yeah, it's sad, but salute to the soldier, man. He gave us so much, bro. Gave us so much. I told a story about Big Pokey on my video I posted earlier. We get off here, y'all go check that out. I don't want to just give it away here. Let me discernment. Erica says discernment. Ooh, but Phantom Face, boy, that boy dropped some teaching. Phantom Face final. He said you can't stop people from trying, but you can stop them from succeeding. That's right. You got to train yourself for the trial. You can't go into a boxing match and you never boxed before. You never even had a fight. And you just say, man, I want to get in the ring. I want to box. And somebody punch you in your face and you just, hey, man, what you do that for? Because you're in a fight. But if you trained and sparred and all that, you know what you're coming up against. So when you step out into this world, you have to already know what you're coming up against based on your training, which is your life experiences. I know when I go here, there's a chance I might encounter this type of person. When I go here, there's a chance I might encounter this type of person. Okay, I'm going to grandma's house. I know cousin such and such gonna be there. I know how he be acting. I know I'm trained. I'm building myself up to deal with all of these scenarios. I'm about to get in traffic. I know traffic is hectic. Somebody might cut me off. Somebody might shoot the finger at me. Somebody might blow at me. If I'm not gonna lose my mind and get in a shootout on the freeway because I had a disagreement with somebody and know what you're going into. OGKO, aka Soul Worthy 713, you have to always be mindful of your conduct and character and your behavior because people will remember their interactions with you. Absolutely. I just talked about how when you have Facebook friends, 200, 2,000, 5,000, whatever it is, and especially if you do have some notoriety, you have some celebrity or people know you like that, you're going to encounter a lot of people. And you might not remember what your interactions was with them, but they'll remember what that interaction was from their point of view. Because people will tell you what you did, good, bad, or ugly, and you might not remember it. They might come to you and say, hey, man, I remember I met you back in 2003, man, and I had my son with me, man. You gave my son 2 free CDs and $20 because it was his birthday that day. You don't even remember you did that. But the same way they remember that, they'll remember if, hey, man, yeah, I met you one time, man. I asked you, would you take a picture with my son? And you said no and walked off. It's all about the energy. They're going to remember the good, the bad, and the ugly. Have some class, y'all. Have class all the way around. That's why I gave little examples, little non-threatening examples. But turn the volume up on your class level in the face of somebody passing away, somebody losing their life. Think about that person, think about that person's family, and don't think it's okay because they are a public figure that it's all right to just put them on blast or speak disrespectful of them, condemn them, judge them, speak of their past. Well, yeah, see, yeah, he went to prison for selling dope back in the day. Yes, man, all caught up to him. You don't know what caught up to nobody. It's all right for me to post this video because he got money. He had money. He's a public figure. It's all right. No, it's not. No more all right for them to do it to a celebrity than it is for them to do it to a homeless man. Shout out to all the fathers out there, man. For those who celebrate Father's Day. Y'all know I don't celebrate holidays, but I do acknowledge certain days because the principle that's associated with the day is nothing wrong with that. You don't have to get caught up in the marketing and the money hungry and the greed aspect of it. But if they say, okay, this is Mother's Day, Father's Day, every day should be that anyway. But if this is the day they acknowledge it, then acknowledge it. Especially if you still got your mother or your father, acknowledge it, even if you don't. So all the fathers out there, all of y'all who doing your thing, and I know this day is hard on a lot of people who may have, a lot of brothers who may feel like they have not been the best father to their seeds, but you still standing vertical and your child is still standing vertical, which means you got a chance to get it right. You can fix it. Don't give up on the possibility of repairing that relationship. And even if the relationship can't be restored 100%, you can get it to where it's manageable. Well, we don't hang out, but we call from time to time. We may go visit from time to time. Get it to where it's manageable. Captain said, keep trying. Drop y'all locations, man. Let me know where y'all at. Appreciate the love. Stacks 187. Appreciate the love to the brother that I had a disagreement with earlier. I think it was AC something. Appreciate you as well. We'll be in Dallas, man, next Saturday. Well, actually, it's right outside of Dallas. It's Louisville, Texas. $9 p.m. It's an early show. Don't come in at 11 o'clock. You're gonna miss it. Hold on, man. I'm sorry. We'll be in Dallas, Texas, man. Next Saturday, 6 days from now. South Park Coalition. Tell a Quacker, man, where you been, man? I think you was in the last one, but you had been missing for a while. Humble, Texas. That Mark CC in Maryland. Taurus D. Johnson in Alexandria, Louisiana. Roderick, we know you in the H-Town. Is that you, Creed? Man, I always say your name wrong, brother. Vancouver, Canada. Virgil Fails, never give up. Connie out there in San Diego. Pat Warren, what's up, Pat? Ohio in the building. Catherine in Missouri. Erica in Lumberton, Texas. Oh, Virgil, you in the H? There it is. Dougie Doug, DJ Rick, says, as the father of lyrics in every. Oh, man, that ain't me, man. Doug, it was many doing it before me. DNS, South Park Coalition 2G in the building, man. When you coming, DNS, next month? DNS making a trip from Germany to Houston, coming to Houston for the first time, man, all the way from overseas. When you coming? Is it July or August? Eddie Spencer up in this thing. Robert Sanders out there, and is that Hebron or Hebron, Kentucky? Stacks 187, New Zealand. Tell the Quacker, say I've been going to bed. That's my fault, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll be coming on here late. Wyden Kirkland in Michigan. Daniel in the garage. Hey, man, at least you got a roof over your head. 25 days, okay. DNS coming to Houston. What up, L out there in Detroit? Who made who apologize? Much love, y'all. RIP to the legend, man. Big Pokey. Salute to you, man. It's always a great brother. Always treated me great. Always showed number love to me and my crew, my family. Just a good-hearted brother. But be respectful to people, man. Be respectful to people's loved ones. Be respectful, man. Don't do nothing you wouldn't want them to do to your family. I understand. All right, y'all, man. I'm out the way. I get y'all. Peace.